How do you thank someone for saving your life?
Thanks to you and your families for everything that you do to keep us healthy and safe.
Not a day goes by that we don't think about you and the difference you made in our lives.
Taking off our hats to all our healthcare workers, but we won't take off our masks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the frontline workers in Central Texas that are doing an amazing job taking care of all of us during this pandemic that is still on.
We say that nurses are smart, we're adaptable, and strive to ensure that our patients are safe no matter what the circumstances.
Your dedication, commitment, and courage deserve our deepest gratitude and admiration.
As nursing students, we see our professors giving their time and their hearts out to their patients and their students tirelessly. We see you every day rising to new challenges, choosing to support and comfort those around you, even in times of fear. You are truly teaching us what it means to serve selflessly and to always put others first.
There will never be enough words to thank you all for all of your courage and your strength and your selfless actions throughout this pandemic year.
Thanks for recognizing us. Prayers that we all stay safe and continue to respect and care for one another by wearing our masks out in public. I really appreciate that, and let's get through this pandemic together.
To all our healthcare workers who have worked so hard and sacrificed so much, I'd like to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you have done and do for us all.
Gracias por todo lo que hacen por nosotros día y noche. De verdad es un sacrificio el que hacen ustedes por cuidar de la comunidad y se merecen todos los premios del mundo por ser ángeles en la tierra.
To quote Mother Teresa, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. Thank you for your great love.
Thank you to all our incredible nurses throughout the Austin area. I really appreciate all you do day in and day out, risking your lives to help us and make for a better and healthier community. I wear this mask out of respect for you all and appreciate what you do day in and day out. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the 2020 Recognizing Nurses event brought to you by the Austin American-Statesman and Local IQ. I am Andrea Vick, Vice President of Sales for Statesman Local IQ, and it is absolutely my pleasure to be here tonight to recognize and celebrate the amazing Central Texas nurses in our community. 2020 has been a year of great challenges, and no one else in this community has stepped up more than our nursing community. Tonight, we are excited to stand up and recognize you and thank you for the job you've done for us in Central Texas this year. It is now my pleasure to introduce the publisher of the Austin American-Statesman, Pat Dorsey.
Thank you, Andrea. Hello and welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for attending the 4th annual Recognizing Nurses celebration presented by Roger Beasley Mazda. It looks a little different this year. No one could have ever predicted last year that life would be this way. But the pandemic situation we find ourselves in now only serves to strengthen our endless gratitude for these warriors on the front line of our health and safety in the Austin community. Just as they are tireless in their efforts, so are we determined to honor them tonight despite the changes of venue and slightly comfier than usual gala attire. We honor our Austin area nursing professionals, those that dispense care, comfort, and compassion on a daily basis and inspire us with their service. We're also grateful to all the nurses' friends and family who have logged on tonight to share in their success. We hope everyone will share this video afterwards as well, as we want to give our incredibly important Austin nurses as much love as we can tonight and going forward. And now, let me give a little love to two people who are also incredibly important to our community. Please join me in welcoming Tony Poletsky and Amy Edwards, our Masters of Ceremonies, for the evening. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Plahetsky, a reporter for the Austin American-Statesman, as well as Austin's ABC station, KView.
And I'm Amy Edwards, on-air personality at Austin 360 Radio and host of Austin 360's Studio Sessions. We're both so excited to be here tonight, honoring our frontline workers, especially now.
Absolutely. We are so excited to celebrate you, such exceptional members of our community tonight. Of course, things look a little different tonight as they have in the past, just like what's happening all around the world. But what better way to celebrate than at home in some sweatpants, maybe on your couch, maybe with a glass of wine? Before we get started, we want to hear from our friend and yours, Andrea Vick.
Thanks, y'all, for coming. Thank you to all of our nurses and to you, Amy and Tony, for being our MCs this evening. We'd also like to thank our sponsors. Presenting sponsor, Roger Beasley Mazda. Title sponsors, Ascension Seton, Baylor Scott & White, St. David's Healthcare, and WellMed. Community sponsors, Altura Health Share, Austin Regional Clinic, Continental Auto Group, Dell Children's Hospital, Georgetown Behavioral Health, Caravel Shoes, St. David's School of Nursing, South University, Texas Nurse Practitioner, and True Heart Hospital.
Every year, the Austin American-Statesman calls upon healthcare organizations and the local community to nominate their favorite nurse and share their story.
We received 539 nominations and nearly 17,000 votes in 17 different categories, from oncology nurses to nurse educators to Rookie of the Year.
Next, a panel of judges reviewed all of their submissions and chose the top 5 from each category.
Let's take a quick moment to thank our judges for their time. Virtual cheer in 3, 2, 1. Yay!
After our judges chose the top 5, we asked the community to pick their top 3 in each category.
So that's 51 total finalists, all of whom are our virtual guests this evening to celebrate our amazing nursing community. Let's meet our finalists.
Our first category is Nurse Educator, which is sponsored by South University. Our finalist nominees for this category are Anna Todd, Elise Williams, and Stephanie Creech. And the best in class for Nurse Educator is Stephanie Creech from Ascension Seton, Northwest Austin. I want to share with you some information from the nomination. Stephanie is the first face that many new and scared nurses encounter when starting a practice that can be intimidating at the least. However, when Stephanie is there, she alleviates the fear while presenting the reality in a way produces courage and confidence to get the job done. Stephanie is an educator to many and a friend to all. She is so kind when faced with questions, doubt, emotions, and challenges, as her task is to educate, schedule, and place new nurses in the best learning environment possible. She takes her job seriously, and everyone who has had the privilege to work with her knows it and feels it. We are lucky to have her as an educator.
So I became a nurse because when I worked as a pharmacy tech in the hospital, I saw a lot of different healthcare providers interacting. And then I originally wanted to become a doctor. But then I realized that, if I wanted to be there for the patients, which is exactly what I wanted, and I've yearned for my entire life is to be there for people, then I thought that I need to be a nurse. So it's just, being in a hospital, seeing how different healthcare professionals interact, I realized that my true passion lies in being there for the patients when there is no one there for them. And I was able to experience a lot of this year because of COVID, where I was the only person that they saw every day pretty much, and no family members. So that's why I became a nurse.
Our second category is Emergency Room Nurse. Our amazing finalists are Brenda Vega, Molly Hundley-Levine, Lucas Wall. And the winner is Molly Hundley-Levine of Ascension Seton Williamson Round Rock. Here's a few words on Molly. Molly Hundley-Levine is a volunteer member of a task force that provides bedside care to COVID-19 patients. During their time on this mission, Molly helped develop new policies, procedures, and protocols to protect patient and nurse safety, used their expertise in PPE to prevent the spread of the disease, and supported the state of Texas's response, all while providing excellent patient care. They've truly gone above and beyond to serve patients and our state as a nurse.
So one of my proudest moments as a nurse, and I've had many, obviously I've been a nurse for 25 years, but most recently I won a grant proposal for our hospital, for our nursing staff, for our unit actually. And it was a postpartum mommy massage package. And the pitch that I did for the foundation that supported this grant was that mommies needed to know that self-care was important and that they could be provided this gift. They have you see deliveries all the time, but the postpartum care is so important to launch them off to their life with their baby. And so taking that moment to realize that they are just as important to take care of themselves. So we developed a program for mommies to get a 20 to 30 minute massage, a focused massage. They had aromatherapy, a diffuser that we used, some spa tea that we did, and then also a toiletry package of shampoo and conditioner and fun stuff like that. And so that moment that we saw this working and that moms were appreciating and they were grateful and they felt confident that this is something they wanted to keep. So we've got lots of feedback and letters from moms, personal letters that they never ever wouldn't have gotten a massage until that day that they realized that was important for them.
Next up is the Hospice Home Care, sponsored by True Heart Hospice. The finalists are Coriana Chantarelle, Tanya Watkins, and Brian King. Our winner is Brian King from Hospice Austin. Brian King has served as an on-call nurse and a nurse practitioner for Hospice Austin for almost 2 decades. In all of that time, he has been the gold standard for what outstanding, compassionate, comprehensive nursing care looks and feels like. In addition to being bright and kind, Brian is exceptionally skilled at what he does and has a gift for making feel at ease and calm during what is a very anxious and uncertain time. There are countless stories of the exquisite, personalized, attentive care Brian King provides to each and every patient he serves. He is truly a treasure in our organization and this community, and we can think of no other individual who deserves this recognition more than he does.
Chelsea, congratulations. We're so proud of you for being named a finalist for Nurse of the Year for Behavioral Health. We know how committed you are to nursing and how passionate you are about your patients.
Thank you for being a light and a source of encouragement to everyone around you. I'm your #1 fan.
Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you're doing something right.
Hey Chelsea, I love you and thank you for your service.
Chelsea, I love you so much and thank you for helping people feeling better.
You have made us the proudest parents in the world. You continue to amaze us with your accomplishments.
Thank you for all the work that you do as a frontline essential employee.
Our 4th category is ICU. The finalists are Christine McIver, Jennifer Keeley, Sasha Thu. The winner is Jennifer Keeley of Ascension Seton Northwest Austin. Here's a brief story about Jennifer from her nominator. I met Jennifer, Jen Keeley, after an agonizing wait following a surgery that did not go as planned. Jen calmly explained to me that my husband was on life support in a medically induced coma. She made it sound so normal and routine that I actually felt comfortable with the frightening situation. Over the course of a lengthy hospital stay, Jen demonstrated the highest level of professionalism and reassured us, even during the most difficult moments, that everything was under control. Jen uses tough love to push her patients beyond their comfort zone while stretching them within their limits. She enabled my husband to regain his strength and achieve milestones that amazed other members of his medical team. She took steps to make sure I could take part in other life events during my husband's treatment. I credit her and her collaboration with the whole ICU team with my husband's smooth recovery.
So 2020, the year of a nurse. What a year it has been. The thing I've learned most about nursing this year is what a force that nurses are and how adaptable we are to whatever gets thrown our way. So nurses from all over, all different specialties, all different walks of life, all over the country have really stepped up to make sure that our patients were taken care of, and we took care of each other, most importantly. And flexibility has definitely been the theme this year, more than it ever has. And we've really had to be so creative and step out of our comfort zones to ensure that our staff and patients had exactly what they needed. As I know that many people did, I've experienced a lot of hardships this year that I never thought that I would have to experience. And the love and support that I received from my peers was just unfathomable. And I'm really just so grateful to be part of such an amazing group of compassionate people.
Making our way to Category 5, Labor and Delivery. Our incredible nominees are Ali Yarnell, Annalisa Guevara, Tamara Herrera. And this one is a tie. Our best-in-class winners are Tamara Herrera from Ascension Seton Williamson Round Rock and Annalisa Guevara from Ascension Seton Medical Center, Austin. Tamara Herrera is a passionate, engaged expert clinical staff nurse in labor and delivery. She always has a smile on her face and is consistently welcoming to staff, physicians, patients, and visitors. Tamara volunteers to teach childbirth classes, she gives tours to expectant families, and she has been our Congress representative. She participates in our performance improvement activities enthusiastically, and so much more. Tamara is a lifelong learner, a patient advocate, and a wonderful example of a professional nurse.
Annalisa Guevara is self-motivated, adaptable, a team player, and a patient advocate. She works in the busiest and most complex labor and delivery unit in the Ascension Seton network, and yet always has a smile no matter what. In addition to her demanding work, she leads a team called Room Readiness that ensures all mothers and infants have the equipment needed for delivery. Through her work on this team, she's identified missing necessary equipment and coordinated with unit managers to adapt. We appreciate her dedication to her unit and to all the patients she serves. Wow, Tony, aren't all these nurses just amazing?
These stories are so incredibly inspiring. Let's take another moment to give them all a big round of applause. Before we meet our other finalists, let's talk about how we chose them. Let me tell you, it's a tough job. But first, we want to thank all of our judges. Denora Martinez Anderson,
Cindy D. Zolnirek,
Jane D. Champion,
Leah May,
Keith Summers,
Nicole Halder,
Wendy Chance,
Jim Bagan, and Chelsea Bancroft.
Thank you to all of you for your service.
Okay, let's move on now to meet the finalists from LPN LVN. The finalists are Raquel Long, Tina Story, Jennifer Lewis, and Raquel Long from Dell Children's Medical Center wins this one. A bit about Raquel. Rocky is always willing to go above and beyond for her job duties. She has never refused to participate in any project, even if it didn't fit within the bounds of her job duties, including currently lending her time to a project addressing patient safety hospital-wide, in addition to a regular caseload. She believes in our organization and dedicates her time and effort to ensuring we can provide the best experience and care for our patients across the board.
So the reason I became a nurse is that from a very young age, I always liked taking care of people. I come from a big family, 5 kids, and my 94-year-old dad likes to tell the story of when I used to stand at the table. He said I stood in the chair when I was probably 3 or 4 and watched to see who might need something and to provide that for them, try to anticipate what they would need. So I always like to take care of people. One of my earliest memories of being the closest thing to a nurse before you ever are one is when my brother, Mark, who was 7 at the time, I think I was about 5, he fell out of a tree and was knocked unconscious, and the neighbors brought him home and laid him on my parents' bed. And all these adults were in the room, all the neighbors, all just trying to decide what to do for him and should they take him to the hospital. And by the time they had made that decision, I had outlined his entire body with every toy I could find, like a little chalk outline of his body. And it was my 5-year-old way of taking care of him to make sure he was okay, because I was pretty sure he needed toys to get better. So I think it's just in my nature. By the time I was 14, I was volunteering at the old Seton on 26th Street. As a candy striper, that's what they called them back then. I did 3 summers doing that at the old Seton, and then my first year of college, I worked at the new Seton as a volunteer in the nursery there. And I've just always wanted to be a nurse. And it's just what I love, and that combined with my love of science. I think really propelled me toward this profession, and I haven't regretted a moment. It's been great.
Our next category, Nonprofit Nurses, is sponsored by Altura. Please join me in congratulating these wonderful finalists, Jan Watson, Sharon Mize, and Steve Paris. And our best-in-class nonprofit is also a tie. Our winners are Jan Watson from Dell Children's Medical Center and Sharon Mize from Community Care. Jan has more than earned recognition for all the hard work she puts in. Jan has been with our NICU team for upwards of 40 years. She is such a rock for our unit. Jan typically comes in at 7 in the morning and leaves around 6 p.m. and spends her days managing our patients' care. She is in constant communication with the often very anxious parents of these babies to make sure they have all of their questions answered. She works hard to make sure every baby has exactly what they need to go home safely. She is also a wonderful resource for fellow nurses. Jan is amazing and deserves every recognition that we can give her.
Sharon Mize is truly an exceptional nurse, and we're proud to call her one of our own. She has a positive, caring attitude and is always full of energy. She pushes us to maximize our resources to help patients manage their health. She's constantly adapting and evolving and follows up with us to make sure we're doing right by the patients and each other. Even in her free time, she volunteers helping single mothers and children's programs, Habitat for Humanity, homeless shelters, retirement communities, and more. She is the first to arrive and the last to leave and has a spirit of joy and fun all the while. She's a dedicated hard worker, and Community Care is a better place because she works here.
I have been a nurse for 29 years, so I have had a lot of very proud moments during that time. So honestly, it's really hard to pinpoint any one moment. I am just so proud to be a nurse. Just being a nurse and being able to come to work, and in my role now, I take care of the people who are taking care of the patients. And I feel like I still do patient care every day because I'm taking care of them, and I'm working on policies and procedures and ensuring they have everything they need to do their job. So it's really hard to pinpoint a proudest moment. Every day is a proud moment.
Next, let's highlight our rehab nurses. The nominees are Ann Barnaby, Beth Pari, Samuel Burwell. Our winner is Ann Barnaby of Dell Children's Medical Center. Let's hear what her manager has to say about Ann. Ann has over 36 years of nursing experience, and she's continued to amaze us with her nursing practice. As nurses at a children's hospital, sometimes we're acting like a surrogate parent because some parents must work or take care of their other children. Ann is not only a nurse, but treats the children like they're her own grandchildren. She can frequently be found snuggling with a patient, reading them a book. Nursing is an art and a science. Ann teaches the science to the nurses, and she lives the art with the gentleness of a grandmother. As a manager, I usually say that I want people to be an extension of me and the organization. Instead, I wish that we could all be an extension of the care that Ann gives.
I think 2020 has taught everyone how to adapt and pivot and change, but especially in nursing, we have the opportunity to rise to the challenge of tackling a virus that was unknown. And I think as a community of nurses, we stand together and, help our patients in their time of need when really no one else can. So I think that nurses are given that opportunity to rise to the challenge again.
Oncology is our next category, and here come the nominees. Ann Raines, Jeremy Pierce, Luke Gregg. And the winner is, drumroll please, Luke Gregg of Dell Seton Medical Center at the University of Texas. This is what his colleague had to say about him. When I think of a role model and mentor, Luke Gregg comes to mind. From watching him sit with a dementia patient when they couldn't sleep, to helping him give a patient in restraints a spa day to make them feel comfortable, I've gotten to witness Luke go above and beyond the call of nursing many a time. Luke has tried learning Spanish to help make a Latinx patient feel more comfortable. He really emulates Seton's mission of human care. When I have made nursing practice mistakes, he has never put me down and has always praised my integrity. I am writing this nomination with my entire floor's enthusiastic support. I could not think of a more deserving nurse for this honor.
If someone were asking me today what it's like to enter the profession of nursing, I would give them the advice of it's the best decision you could possibly make. You actually get paid to do things that you care greatly about. It's amazing. We have the ability to affect someone's life every day. We can affect it in many different ways, from the birth of a baby, the first breath that any baby ever takes, to the last breath that someone has on their deathbed. And you play a different role every time and everything in the middle. You will definitely pay an emotional, physical, and mental price being a nurse. It takes it out of you. It really does. And you will hear that from nurses who have been in our profession for a long time. But I promise you, when you do meet a nurse, you're going to meet the most resilient, strong, educated, and caring person that you would ever want to have by your side. That's why the profession of nursing is always noted as being one of the most trustworthy professions ever in the world. And it's because it takes a very special type of person to give 100% of themselves to the position that they hold. And that's what you will do when you become a nurse. I would not trade my career for anything in the world. There's nothing I would rather be than a nurse. So congratulations on those of you who make that decision.
And now for pediatrics, sponsored by Dell Children's Medical Center. Our amazing finalists are Elena de Guerre, Rebecca Orozco, Cristina de Leon. And the winner is Cristina de Leon, Dell Children's Medical Center. Oof, go Cristina. A patient wrote this about Cristina. Our 4-year-old son was kicked in the head by a horse and taken to Dell Children's. Our normally happy-go-lucky little boy was depressed. Cristina would take it upon herself to come up with wonderful things to take his mind off of what he was going through, such as making it her mission to find out his favorite foods when his feeding tube was removed, and using her day off to go to a fire station and request that they visit our son. They tried to delay, but she convinced them this little boy was special and brave, and ultimately arranged 8 firefighters and 3 fire trucks to visit with him in the hospital parking lot. It was his first smile in weeks. My family can never properly express our overwhelming gratitude to Cristina for her professionalism, responsibility, overwhelming kindnesses, and for the positive impact she had on Hunter and on our family during an extremely frightening and difficult time for all of us.
Well, I became a nurse because I had a previous career, and it was something very far from nursing, and I just basically realized it was not going to be a lifetime thing for me. I also just missed having sort of those human interactions with people that were real and genuine, and really just felt like I needed to do something different. And I love science too. So it sort of pushed me in the direction of nursing. And I did some volunteer work, and then that sold me on it.
Thanks to the team at Caravel Shoes, who have sponsored the RN category and graciously donated footwear to 3 lucky winners. Our finalists for this huge category are Cheryl Bartek, Rocio Cespedes, Natalie Coburn, and the winner is Cheryl Bartek from Ascension Seton, Austin. The nomination comes from Cheryl's child. Cheryl Bartek has been a dedicated and faithful nurse with Seton for over 34 years. She embodies the care and compassion of the Daughters of the Charity, both in and outside the hospital walls. Growing up as her child, I will always remember people coming up to her at soccer games, church, and other community events, thanking her for her compassionate and exceptional care she gave them in the hospital. Her co-workers describe her as passionate, dedicated, working a double shift with a smile before going home to take care of her 4 children, someone who refreshes others by the way she loves her job. My mother has exemplified what it means to live out the art of nursing with her life. She inspired both me and my brother, and we both followed in her footsteps as nurses because of her resiliency, triumph, strength, and determination through the darkest times. Very inspirational stuff.
Okay, so 2020 has been a very weird year for nurses because of COVID. Initially, when it started in our area, we were the hospital that were taking all the COVID patients. So I was able to participate in taking care of those patients, and it made me realize that nursing is truly harder than what it seems like during clinicals and nursing school. Once again, it comes to the same point where you have to be truly passionate to be a nurse, because there are a lot of nurses who changed professions during COVID because they didn't want to work with COVID patients. So at the end of the day, for any nurses who are becoming nurses in this time, you have to realize that you have to be able to immerse yourself in any kind of environment that calls for you as a nurse.
Now, this is a fun category, Rookie of the Year. Let's meet those rookie finalists. Katie Bailey, Priyanka Patel, Katarzyna Banasik. The best in class goes to Priyanka Patel, Ascension Seton Williamson Round Rock. During Priyanka's first year, she's grown tremendously to a nurse that patients consistently respect and acknowledge. In February 2020, Priyanka was awarded the Daisy Award by a patient who was thankful for her compassionate nature. Priyanka is a nurse on the unit that staff have begun to rely on. She knows her limitations and understands that asking for help only helps her grow as a nurse. Her instincts once had her keep pushing for extra attention to a patient who was then found to have a serious condition and transferred to the ICU for urgent care. Priyanka is always professional and ensures that the job gets done while providing for the highest possible patient care she can. Her coworkers love working with her. Here's to our rookie, Priyanka.
My proudest moment as a nurse. So my favorite thing to do as a nurse that gives me a lot of pride is take care of the people that take care of our patients. And I get a lot of pride seeing them succeed. And honestly, being nominated for this has hands down been one of my proudest moments. It's been so exciting. And it just means a lot to me that the people that I am helping, the people that I take care of, took the time to say such kind words about me and to nominate me for such a prestigious honor.
And now a very special category for our community, school nurses. The finalists are Kelly Jones, Mary Ellen Umstad, Patty Adams. And the winner is Kelly Jones at Pillow Elementary via Dell Children's Medical Center. Here is what Kelly's coworkers had to say about her. It's impossible to list all the things Kelly Jones has done to go above and beyond her job description. She works harder after work for her job than most people I know work at their job. The parents of the children she works with regularly thank her for her dedication and endless love of children. Kelly is working toward completing her BSN along with her LNC degree, all while working a high-needs campus and writing a grant proposal. Kelly spends her personal hard-earned money for supplies for the health room. I have never met a more caring, loving, hardworking, or passionate person in my life than Kelly.
If someone were considering entering the nursing profession, what I would tell them is that it's one of the most fun, exciting, rewarding, creative, amazing careers you can have. And one of the things I love the most about it, of course, the teamwork and the heart of the people who become nurses usually are really wonderful people. And but also you can have many different careers within your career. You can be a labor and delivery nurse, a surgery nurse, a school nurse, orthopedic nurse, all kinds of different nurses. And I also would really encourage them to not be afraid of going back for an advanced degree or advanced certification. Although I do think it's really important for nurses that are new to the profession to have a very good extended hospital experience, so they really get that under their belt. And then go back to school, because there are a lot of things that they can learn, including additional critical thinking skills that enhance the safety of our patients.
And now, on to our brave surgery nurses. Janet Groner, Lauren Freeman, Zetta Hackelman. And the best in class winner is Lauren Freeman of Baylor Scott & White Medical Center, Round Rock. Lauren Freeman has a passion for helping patients, not just in surgery, but in every phase of care. She became a nurse because she wanted to help patients feel more relaxed when experiencing difficult life events. Through her animal volunteering, she created a dog therapy program from scratch to calm her patients, despite great health, safety, and legal hurdles, spending constant hours researching policies and procedures for over 2 years to bring her vision to life. And she's not stopping. Now she aims to grow animal-assisted therapy programs to other units and eventually other hospitals. Lauren's drive and leadership should be an example to us all to always follow your path and what you're passionate about.
The Texas Nurses Association, or TNA, is a statewide, membership-based association of registered nurses. Founded in 1907, the TNA is the oldest professional nursing association in Texas. Its members represent all segments of nursing practice, come from all practice settings, and share a common purpose: advancing excellence in nursing. TNA District 5 and Statesman have partnered together in our Recognizing Nurses event for the last 3 years to honor and celebrate nurses in our community. Every year, TNA District 5 raises funds for nursing scholarships awarded to the local area nursing students. 3 scholarships are gifted, 1 from the Austin Rotary Foundation, 2 from private donors, Betty Richardson, and 5 from District 5 fundraising efforts, for a total of 8 recipients. They are: from the Austin Rotary Foundation, Belissa Barrier; from private donation, Betty Richardson, Fernando Aldez, Laxmi Prashad Ahetri; and from the TNA District 5, Emma Cho, Heather Ray Jones, Madeline Gregory, Patrick Kennedy, Andy Kate McMillan.
Thank you so much to all the nurses for your hard work and dedication, especially Natalie Coburn. You're our hero and our inspiration, Natalie.
And now for administrator leaders. Our finalists are Tammy Taylor, Karen Kate McCaffrey Campbell, Teresa Stanley. And our winner is Karen Kate McCaffrey Campbell from Ascension Seton McCarthy Community Health Clinic. Karen is a gold standard for compassionate, high-quality, and innovative nursing. She maintains high standards for all of her staff while providing the flexibility and support that allows them to obtain advanced certification and additional education. Her compassion for her patients is boundless. She has made home visits, visited our patients in the hospital and nursing home, written grants for low-income patients to get diabetes supplies, healthy groceries, and even a crock pot for a pregnant woman without access to a stove. She is the last person to leave at night. She is the first person to volunteer for a community outreach effort. Because of her amazing guidance for her team, we have won countless accolades. She has served the Austin community as a dedicated nurse, inspirational leader, and nurse mentor for over 39 years, and we can't think of anyone who deserves this award more.
Yeah, so 2020 has taught me so much, and it's taught me a lot about resilience. It's taught me a lot about care of my employees and their wellness, and it's taught me about self-care for myself as well. It's also taught me patience because it has been constantly changing, sometimes hourly. So it has really been a test of patience and resilience.
Our next category is Behavioral Health, sponsored by Georgetown Behavioral Health. Our finalists are Chelsea Taylor, Shannon Skolot, Justin Foss. The winner is Chelsea Taylor from Dell Children's Medical Center. Chelsea is an amazing nurse and person. She's known to many patients as a personal confidant, someone they can tell things they're scared to tell anyone else. Working with pediatric psychiatric patients is a physically and emotionally draining task, and yet she devotes herself to patients and always makes time if they need to talk. Chelsea has saved many lives by helping young people remember that life can be worth holding on to. She spends real one-on-one FaceTime with them to listen, to comfort, and to problem solve. She's a fantastic and passionate nurse with nothing but positive feedback from patients and families. She works to build resiliency in these kids so that they are able to recover from their illnesses.
I became a nurse because that was really what I was meant to be. I'm a third generation RN, so essentially it's in my DNA. There are very few careers that allow you to accomplish the things that I think being a nurse does. You know, if you think about it, we're present in the best of times, we're present in the worst of times, and we're present in all the times in the middle. We're highly educated professionals, and for those of us who really enjoy this profession, they know that we use science to make decisions. And not only do we back all of our decisions in evidence-based practice through science, we also make sure that we're empathetic and we have the ability to care for individuals. The goal is to have a great patient outcome, the best that it can be, and we strive to make that happen. I personally can't think of any profession that's this great, where we have this much flexibility and where we can make a difference to everybody that we touch.
Next up is Nurse Practitioner, sponsored by Texas Nurse Practitioner. Our finalists are Justin Henney, Amanda Merrick, Donna Gaona. The winner is Donna Gaona of WellMed Medical Management. It's very hard to summarize in words how wonderful of a nurse Donna Gaona is to the family of WellMed at Cedar Park family. Donna has devoted her time with not just our unique and complex patients, but patients at other clinics. She does everything in her power to support low-income senior patients in their time of need, including calling companies to enable free scans and tests. She has never turned down a patient. She has a great team spirit and is always there to pick up a shift or travel to other locations to help. Donna's knowledge and family-centered approach has shaped and impacted our clinic, our patients, and their families as a whole. We fervently believe that Donna is one of the most selfless and passionate nurses in Austin, and we cannot think of anyone more deserving of a Nursing Excellence Award than her.
Hi, I am Christy Blanco, President of Texas Nurse Practitioners, and we are honored to be able to sponsor the Austin American-Statesman's Recognizing Nurses event. I would like to congratulate all the winners for their unique contributions they have done to improve patient outcomes. They say if you save a life, you're a hero, but if you save 100 lives, you're a nurse. It is a privilege to share the same profession as the amazing winners today. Thank you and congratulations.
I'm Jim Bagan from the Roger Beasley organization, and we're here happily supporting the 4th annual Nurses event. And as always, this is a special event to the Beasley organization, most importantly because we have family in the business. And we couldn't be happier this year in supporting our nurses and first responders, more so this year than ever before, because obviously the year that they've been under, you've been under, and this whole country has come to appreciate what you guys are doing. And we do want to take a special shout out to the people behind the scenes, the people that show up to the hospital also and help be the support staff you guys need to be successful in what you do, and that's the custodians, the security people, the people that cook the meals, bring the meals, the pharmacy, all the wonderful people that have been doing an awesome job this year supporting you guys in Austin, Texas. So with that, congratulations to the winners this year, and as always, we're going to surprise you with every winner who will enjoy a Miata for a month this year to drive as they want, with one special caveat. We're going to put a $500 gift certificate with every winner so you can go out of town one weekend and get a hotel room and get some restaurants in you and enjoy that weekend and the Miata on the Roger Beasley organization. Thank you for all you do. Enjoy the year, and let's have a much different 2021 than we've had this year.
Wow, aren't these nurses just all so incredible? Let's take a moment again to thank them and applaud all of the nurses with us tonight.
Cheers to all of our nurses, everyone who was nominated, and all of the phenomenal work that you do every single day. Cheers. And cheers also to our in-kind sponsors, Tito's Vodka and Kendra Scott.
There's a lot viewing right now. That's exciting and a testament to how important it is to honor this community. Thank you and have a great night.
Thank you and good night, everyone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here tonight and helping us celebrate Austin's finest nurses. I was humbled and honored to be a part of something that brought light to this incredible community. How about you, Tony?
And especially at such an interesting time in our country and across the world, and especially in the nursing community. So one last round of applause for all of our nurses tonight. Thank you for your passion and for your dedication to our community. Good night, everyone.